Here's the 5 steps and easy formulas you need to know to make beautiful zipper pockets. Step 0 is to use pre-finished zippers whenever possible. These are affordable and save a lot of time since you don't have to install sliders or stops. They're also available in many types and sizes. I'll demonstrate today with an 8-inch No. 5 metal tooth zipper, but I'll give you a formula that works with any size. Step 1 is to determine the desired height and width of your finished pocket. For me, that's 8 inches wide since I'm using an 8-inch zipper, and 4 inches deep since my bag is pretty shallow. Here's a simple formula for cutting your pocket fabric. The width of the fabric will be the width of the zipper plus 3 inches, so 11 inches in my case. And the fabric height will be 2 times the desired depth of the pocket plus 3 inches, so 11 inches for me. For my shallow pocket, this ended up being a square, but that won't be the case for deeper pockets. And one other note, I usually work with heavier fabric, so I don't add any interfacing, but if you do need to add it for some extra strength, now would be the time. After cutting that, step 2 is to draw our rectangle on the pocket fabric. This rectangle of guidelines is key to the construction of the pocket. Make sure you mark the lines on the wrong sides of the fabric when drawing it. Mark a line 1.5 inches down from the top of the fabric. This will be the center line where the zipper teeth sit. Since these marks will all be hidden, you can go ahead and extend the lines all the way to the edge of the fabric. Next, mark lines on both sides of the center line. To do this, we need to measure the widest part of your zipper slider. If you're between measurements, round up to the nearest 1/8 of an inch. So for my No. 5 zipper, I rounded up to 1/2 inch. Then take that measurement and divide it in half, then mark that distance above and below the center line. For me, that means adding 1/4 inch on each side, so that the top and bottom lines of my rectangle are 1/2 inch apart. This gives the slider enough room to move without leaving a big gap that looks a little bit odd. And if you don't want to do the math, we made a chart for you, so go ahead and screenshot that now. There's also a free PDF pattern in the description that you can download to make reusable templates and speed up this process. Now let's finish off the rectangle. Fold the zipper in half so that the stops touch and mark the center line. You can also do the same thing with the fabric to find the center. Then match those 2 points together and make a mark about 1/16 inch beyond each stop so that the fabric will sit just past the zipper when everything's sewn. Then draw small triangles at each end of the rectangle. The point of the triangle should be 1/2 inch from the edge that we just drew. Step 3 is to position and sew the pocket fabric to the main fabric. Find the spot where you want the pocket to go and pin or clip it in place with the right sides of the fabrics touching. Now sew around the outer perimeter of the rectangle. Make sure you're not sewing the center line or those triangles. With that sewn, we can move on to step 4, which is inverting the pocket. Since we want the pocket to end up inside the bag, cut through both layers of fabric along the center line and into the triangle tabs. When cutting into those corners, get as close as you can without snipping the stitches. Then pull the pocket fabric through the opening and splay it out flat. Now you can start to see the rectangle shape you're creating. It might look a little bit messy at this point, but there are a few ways to tidy it up. If your fabric can be ironed, press each edge so that the pocket fabric is barely hidden by the main fabric. Weights or pins can help hold things in place while you are positioning. If you're working with something that cannot be ironed like leather, basting tape works great too. I'm using 1/4 inch basting tape with this leather to hold the layers in place instead of ironing. Once everything is neatly ironed or basted into place, we can finish sewing, which is the fifth and final step. Hopefully you have a nice crisp rectangle at this point. And now it's time to pin or baste the zipper into the opening. Try to keep everything as straight as you can, as well as equal distance from the zipper teeth. Most zippers have horizontal lines woven into the flange, which I use as a guide. With the zipper in place, you can top stitch around the rectangle. I sew 1/8 of an inch from the edge of the fabric using a zipper foot. That helps avoid landing the presser foot on the top of the zipper chain or on the stops. Anytime you are approaching the slider, slide it out of your way so that it doesn't warp the fabric around it as you sew. The last thing to do is sew the pocket bag closed. Fold the pocket in half and pin or baste the edges in place. Then sew the remaining 3 sides to close the pocket. Just make sure you don't sew into your main panel. If you followed the formula earlier, you should have plenty of seam allowance to do this cleanly. And with that sewn, the pocket is complete. If we check our measurements, it's 8 inches wide and 4 inches deep, just like I wanted. There are lots of zipper pocket tutorials out there, but I hope this one has been the easiest to follow and most clearly demonstrated. If you learned something from this video, subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. And while you're down in the description, don't forget to download those free resources that we made for you. Thanks for watching and have fun on your next project.